We're live.
Good morning. Do y'all want to hear a song, a jingle, or good morning, sunshine?
Wait, what's the?
It don't work. It don't work.
It don't work.
It don't work.
Crystal got
What's up? Where y'all at? It's the time
I got an intro.
92 on the dot.
Baby, that was her song.
What's up? Where y'all at? It's that time again. 92
It's
on
playing.
the dial with your morning
Just
friends.
not on there.
Never playing. Thank the Lord. It's all you should say and leave the rest of the
All right, so it's messed up. So we ain't gonna worry about it. It's messed up. It's messed up. All right, anyway, good morning to you guys.
Good morning,
I tried to hit
everybody.
Kenny's buttons, but they don't work over here. But good morning to everybody out there.
They don't be working with you.
They don't work. They don't work. This little stream deck thing just doesn't like me. So I hit the right buttons. It just doesn't work. But good morning to you guys. Thank you guys for watching the Kenny Smoov Morning Show podcast. For everybody that's already in the room, good morning to you, Tracy and Dantrell and DR, Dolores, Chuck, Tony,
Hey,
Regina,
everybody.
Tia, Mocha. Good morning to everybody out there. Good morning to you, Ebony.
Hey, good morning.
Crystal with I.
Good morning, everybody.
It is the Kenny Smoov Morning Show podcast. We're coming to you. Kenny is out, so is Sissy. They're both out on vacation. So it is the three amigos back again.
The three amigos.
The
One,
three
two, three.
amigos back again. And we got some good stuff to come up. We're gonna go right into some hot topics. We're gonna let Ebony kick it off with the first hot topic. I got one, and I know that we're gonna get into this. If you haven't heard on the radio about voyeurism, we're definitely gonna talk about this because Crystal is joining the club.
And I'm pulling them out. I'm bringing out the freaks, y'all.
She's bringing
She does
out.
bring out the freaks.
They done
early
called
in the
up here,
morning.
baby.
It's crazy.
She's bringing out the freaks, but Ebone's gonna kick it off with we're talking about some hot
Because
topics.
this tea is hot. Time for the Get Down with Sissy Brown on the Kenny Smoov Morning Show.
Hey guys, so we're gonna first talk about Denzel because Denzel he's an award-winning actor, a great actor, but I didn't realize how much money he cost. In a new movie he got going on with Netflix, they wanted to match the earnings that he's gonna be getting for doing the movie with Spike Lee, and that is $35 million for Denzel to play in a film. That's crazy. But
Sounds about right.
He's worth it. I mean,
Academy
yeah.
Award-winning actor. He's
Yeah.
in that top percentile. So I think like bare minimum, you start winning Academy Awards, like it's almost guaranteed $20 million for every film.
Oh, wait, so if you get an award like the Golden Globes, that's when your stat goes up?
Technically, as you start winning these awards, then you can ask for more. And usually, when you become an Academy Award winner, usually those people are in the minimum $20 million range per film.
So I wonder what an EGOT person would get. Like if you're an EGOT, then you get probably more than...
I mean, I would say because you have an Oscar, so
Yeah.
you have the highest honor in that industry. It starts at $20 million, and because that's say that you're in the $20 million club if you're an Oscar winner, and it goes from there depending on how many more Oscars you've won and everything else. But it starts, I think, around $20 million because even Will Smith is in the $20 million club.
I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you get your EGOT, I'm going to definitely ask you for some meals. I'm not going to ask you for $20 anymore. It's going to be $1 million.
It's gonna be
right
$1 million
then.
when I get when I become an EGOT, I will have millions in the
You
bank, and I
will.
ain't got no problem doing that.
All right, guys. Kim K, went to school. Well, Sean says no.
She didn't, but go ahead.
She didn't.
She went to school after 6 years. She finally has her law degree. But I don't know what's going to happen next because, she has a new movie / I guess series maybe called All's Tale or All's Hell. Well, I forgot what I said. Anyways, and it's coming out. So she's doing her acting thing, but in it, she's playing a lawyer. So maybe she did this to get ready for the role. Maybe that's what
I
happened.
think. That's what
Yeah.
I think because for those who know that she says that you're going to see stories about Kim Kardashian got her law degree. She did not go to traditional law school. She did basically a study program where she basically was in a law firm and
It was apprenticeship. It
an
was
apprenticeship. So she watched them practice
She
law.
just watched
So
them.
So
she's
she-
a public pretender.
There you go.
But
She knows how to read it because
She
it's
can read
also
it.
known as reading the law. So she can read
it.
the law. She could probably comprehend it for you. But as far as practicing, now they're saying that she would practice law 18 hours a week. I don't believe that. She probably sat in that office and asked and looked and watched. But I don't think she was actually practicing. She still has to pass the bar. She hasn't done that yet. She still has to pass
She's
the bar.
not gonna pass that bar.
I don't really see her really doing that. I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, if she does, great, and I commend her for even going that. I think she spent 6 years doing this and studying, and she did what they call a little baby bar. She took some little baby exam. It wasn't the actual full bar. But she's not an actual full lawyer yet. Will she take it? I don't know. I feel like to me it was more of preparation for this new TV series that she has because she's playing a lawyer. So it's going to make her a little bit more comfortable in that role. But I mean, come on now.
Kim
Kardashian
courtroom.
as a lawyer. Kim Kardashian as a lawyer.
I don't want to see her in the courtroom.
I think her voice would annoy me.
Your Honor.
Your Honor. So, I mean, my client. Everything is a question. I would get annoyed as their client. Like, stop asking everything as a damn question.
He's guilty or innocent.
Right.
I don't believe you.
Be like, girl, you lose and walk backwards or something.
Just something.
You got to do something else. That ain't gonna work.
I don't know. Bend over, something. Do something.
But I don't think she's gonna go through with it either.
No, I don't think so.
And then last one, Big Glow went on social media yesterday, and people kind of are upset about this because she's talked about how being 30 with no kids is a red flag in dating, which it is. It's very true. I'm 28, and when it comes to dating, talking to guys, they're like, you don't have no kids, something wrong. She says that guys now feel that if you have no kids and you're 30 years old and you're single, that means that it's slaw. And she said, nah, mine's still tight. It's still tight. Ain't no slaw thing going on over here.
I'm with you, Glow.
I'm with you, Glow.
I mean, at the end of the day, it still should be tight because you didn't have no child came out of it.
Right.
So yeah.
So we haven't been beheaded. So therefore,
is that what it's called?
Therefore,
that sounds really painful.
Exactly. So does birth. Is what I'm saying. But
beheaded.
Yeah, so that's why I say mine is still showroom flow. Okay, it ain't been took out for a test drive. Ain't raised no kids or nothing.
Ooh,
some of y'all
got new car smell.
Yeah, some of y'all got kids and don't even want them. And then some of y'all, the size of some of y'all kids' head, I doubt that y'all is even good anymore. Because y'all got some big head kids in there. Y'all talking about, I ain't my baby natural all year roast beef.
Oh my God. So YouTubers, if you're a YouTuber, you're watching it right now. If you're single, you're female, you're dating, and you have no kids. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like guys or whomever you're trying to date feel like there's a red flag? It's a problem. You don't have no kids. Why would I want you? I feel like that's a big issue going on in dating.
It is, but again, this generation is not so much about having kids. They're more or less about trying to get to the bag and pursue their own careers and paths and goals. And kids is not.
It's not it.
It's not thought of the same way it was in previous generations where you weren't. You got to have kids. You're grown and established when you got kids. But everybody shouldn't be a parent. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Everybody should not be a parent. And just because you can have kids doesn't mean that you should have kids.
Yeah.
Because the foster care and adoption, they wouldn't be so big if y'all was made for that.
Exactly. And then there's people out here that have kids that don't want them. And they're put in situations where they got kids and they don't want them. And that's why we got a lot of ridiculous, unnecessary YNs running around here acting retarded. Because in some situations, the parent wasn't a parent because they didn't want the kids in the first place. And I'm just speaking truth.
What you call them earlier, Sean?
I said hooligans. Hooligans. I pulled that one from my.
I was a kid.
That was a word I pulled that from my grandmother.
Look,
hooligans.
Picture it, 1969.
Right.
Your granny was saying hooligans.
Hooligans. I pulled that from my grandmother.
I'm waiting for you to say, "Don't close my screen door."
I channeled her.
Oh my God!
I did. I channeled her. Hooligans is who they are.
Them hooligans.
But I'm just saying they'll get you every time. So everybody so I understand Glorilla and you know where you are because you're in your 30s and you don't want to, not trying to have kids right now. And Ebony's right there in her 30s, so she doesn't want to have kids.
Oh my gosh.
He put an S on it like you was over.
When I whoop Sean's ass, it's like,
For telling the truth?
Don't want to beat his ass. Don't want to kick his ass.
For telling the truth.
Do I just want to dot his eye? It's just so many different things I'm trying to figure out right now.
For telling the truth.
I'm 28, first of all. Don't be trying to further me, all right? I'm 28 years old, all right? Don't be doing that. You do too much.
Okay.
Do too much. I don't say you 50.
Because I'm
you
not.
50.
Because I'm not.
But you...
I got like several years before I get there.
See?
Several.
Well.
You have one.
Before you get, that's what I was saying.
It's gonna be one hell of a year.
I still got
It's
four.
gonna be one hell of a year, y'all.
Man, DR said my girl ain't got no kids, and she right. Wink, wink.
Oh, see? See? Ain't nothing wrong with it. It works.
It works.
They call it the grip.
The grip.
The grip.
The grip is, yeah.
She's a gripper.
She's a gripper.
Yeah, she's a gripper. And I congratulate you, DR.
Don said, can we stop normalizing that people have to have kids out of wedlock? Maybe the single people wasn't want to wait until marriage or their careers are more established. It's right. It's not about being established in life does not mean you have to have a kid. It doesn't necessarily mean that. A kid is something that you have to want. You have to want to be a parent, because once you do that, you are a parent for the rest of your life. You have to want that. And if you don't want that, don't do it just because you can.
Yeah.
And this ain't because when we say that, a lot of people think that it's just talking about the black community. It's a lot of white folks that didn't want their kids.
A lot of them.
Let's take it back to Susan Smith, okay? Susan Smith took her kids to the lake, put the car in gear, and let them babies roll into the water. Now, that take for you to sit there and watch that, you sick in the head.
Right. And you got so many other parents that will punish their children for the lack thereof of the baby daddy. There's been several stories where mothers have killed their kids because of their baby daddy not being in their life or treating her bad and not wanting her because she had kids, so she gets rid of the kids. And then vice versa. You've had dads kill the kids because the mom don't want them anymore. So the kids become a sacrifice. Yeah. You have to want kids because this is a whole nother life. You have to want them.
My thing is that if you're somebody that's in that dating range right now, you're like 28, or even if you're older and you have no kids, don't feel like you have to rush, like we talked about before, but don't feel like you're missing out on something. Just enjoy your life. Just do your thing. It is okay to have kids a little later on in life, or not at all.
Yeah.
Or not at all. You don't have to have kids. You just don't have to. I hate that people feel like, oh, it's a force. You got to do it. I don't want it. Right now, I can tell you right now, I don't want no kids. At all. I'm good. My god sister, she has broken me down enough. All right. I don't want no kids at all. I'm focused on my career. That's it. Now, later down the line, maybe when I get into my 40s, probably, but definitely not now.
I don't want none because I got enough nieces and nephews, and at the age I'm at now, if I was to get pregnant, it wasn't nothing but the Lord. Okay? Only Him.
Only him.
Because it wasn't because I was trying or that I did something to possibly get that way or nothing. Jesus.
Regina said, my granny used to say that, Sean. Yes, hooligans. Hooligans.
It just throws you off when Sean says it.
That's right. But hey, that's right. That's right. Now, speaking of kids and parents and daddies, I think we definitely got to get into what Crystal's talking about in her Real Talk. We got to talk about, because Father's Day is coming up. So, Crystal, go ahead. Just do it. You got this. Let's go. All right, Crystal and I, it's time to get us this Real Talk. What you got?
Okay, good morning. And I am coming here on behalf of the people who feel like or that think they should be getting a Father's Day gift. Okay? Father's Day is coming up, and all of you do not deserve Father's Day gifts. And if you don't know if you're one of those people, I'm going to tell you how. Okay? Right. If the teacher at the school don't even know who you are, that means you have never been up there, you've never participated in no activities, none of that. You ain't getting no gift. If you tell your kid that you ain't got it more than you have given to them, you are not getting no gift. They ain't got it. You ain't gave them nothing to save up. Kids, if the kids say, why call him? He ain't never got no money. That means they don't know you to be a supplier. So why would they be giving you a gift? And then if your kids see you and ask, what he doing here? Baby, you are not the father that you think. Don't know your kids' shoe sizes or their clothes sizes, you not getting no gift. If you ain't never heard somebody say about you, he don't play about his kids, you're not a good father and you don't deserve a gift. And if you are one of those fathers that involve your kids in your toxic co-parenting and make that the reason that you don't do nothing for your kids, you ain't getting no gift. Now, the fathers that should, okay, these are the ones that are recognized. They don't know the child unless they see their father. Where your dad at? He usually with you. If you was pregnant and your baby daddy was singing and talking to your stomach and stuff like that, that's potential gift person.
Right.
Okay? If he does everything he needs to do for the child, even asked or not asked, those are the people that deserve gifts. Not you deadbeat, ragged ass.
Damn.
Running around here thinking just because, oh, yeah, that's my baby, that you going to get a gift because you're not. And you better not get them one, ladies. I don't care how good it used to be. It ain't that no more. And that's my real talk for this morning. Good day.
Okay. She said that with her chest.
I
love
mean, like, you left no crumbs. That was good. That was good. That was good.
D. Shannon said, Crystal, Father's Day already treated like a stepchild, and now this? Well, I never. But D. Shannon, you not a deadbeat.
No, D. Shannon, I know you gonna get blessed abundantly because you a good zitty.
He's a good what?
A good zitty.
Good.
You're a good zitty.
Not a good daddy.
The wordplay this morning.
It's insane.
Is insane.
Yeah, we've had a hell of a conversation when it comes to daddy and voyage. What was it?
Voyeurism.
Voyeurism.
Ooh, Lord.
We did, because we've had a couple of different little situations here. First of all, it kind of ties in. Maybe the two dudes in the park, because somebody was probably watching that too. Did you guys hear the story in Houston? There were two guys that were arrested because they were coloring in the park, in a kids park, at 12:35 in the afternoon.
Getting it in.
Literally getting it in. At 12:35 in the afternoon, they got arrested. Of course, they were charged for indecent exposure. But two dudes in a kids park. You couldn't go home. You couldn't.
That's crazy.
Couldn't get a hotel room.
Couldn't hold it.
Like,
now, if they was on some type of drug, because you can get that high to where you like zone so far out. Not saying I have.
okay,
But
you
I
better
have.
put that disclaimer there.
But I have seen and heard of people getting so high that they do the craziest things. Like even when remember when people was getting high on that bath salt and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that one dude, he was biting people's face off and tried to cut his own leg off and stuff. So I can see that. So I'm benefit of the doubt. Maybe they was on something.
Now, guys, here's the crazy part. We did this story. We talked about it on the air, and someone actually called in and decided to correct and say, hey, that is actually this particular term.
Right.
And
that ties with the other story, too, because of the Crystal mentioned the two people that were having sex on the beach.
Yeah. So, and then for whatever reason, her and Crystal are now going to be participating in swinger parties. She said she knows some swinger parties that go on. Crystal said, let me know when, and I'll show up. So if you are out there right now listening and you're interested in swinger parties and having a little threesome, foursome, 50-fix some or whatever, then
She
go
said
ahead.
56.
Then hit up Crystal because she's down for a good ass
you
time.
know, you're excitingly sounding like a party pooper. Like it sounds excitingly sarcastic, and I don't know how to take it. But 615-737-9292.
You know, people out here do it. People
do.
They like to watch other people in public places, and also people are expeditionists and they like to participate. I'm not really sure where Crystal falls.
She said she's both, right?
I'm by when it come to that,
So you gonna watch
and then participate.
and then you go like, tag, I'm in.
Somebody watch me now. Look, now you can watch me. Your turn to watch.
Your turn.
What a weird game of tag.
Isn't it a very weird game of tag?
But y'all ain't never. That's what some people call it, butt naked wrestling.
But naked wrestling.
Yeah, butt naked wrestling.
Wow.
Tag, I'm in. Literally, I'm in.
Do we have any butt naked wrestlers in the group chat, in the YouTube chat?
Birdie said Crystal needs to sit there hot pocket down.
Hey, yeah, Crystal out here wilding out.
Oh,
Keisha Wood said you can go and just watch.
that's what I'm saying.
Bernie said you want to be in a freak off so bad. Hey, I'm telling you.
Not that kind. Not that kind.
Y'all check her house for baby oil. Just check her supply of baby oil.
Oh my God, I keep Vaseline. Oh my God.
Jesus.
She said I keep Vaseline.
Now it's all right if you got the little bitty container of Vaseline, but if you got a vat, Then
I got them big ones.
See, yes.
I can't go to your house.
You
I
don't
feel
need
like-
that much Vaseline.
I feel like it's a switch at our house. It just turns into a disco ball
Yeah.
coming down. Big ass bed. She got the whole what's that dude? Shack bed, a big ass
Yeah.
queen, whatever size.
Girl, like I ain't even got that size apartment.
And she got a swing where you can just
She got a
strap
swing,
in.
You can strap
Now,
in and go back and forth.
I did want to get one of those swings that go on the door
Uh-huh.
and try one of those.
Because you want to sleep
out.
in it?
No.
No, she want to swing in it.
I mean,
the
you want to sleep in it? Because that's what you're going to do. Anyway,
oh,
so did you guys hear this?
Shots, bro.
Did you guys hear about this? Because I know this is Ebone's thing. You know, this Afterpay stuff.
What happened
Did you hear
with
about?
it?
Did you hear about Klarna?
I don't use Klarna, so I'm not mad about it, but I did hear about it.
Same situation, different company.
Different company, no situation.
$136 million in debt due to customers not paying back their loans.
And I paid back mine, okay? I have
what
a
they
great...
thought was gonna happen?
That's what I
I
want to
don't
know.
know.
Whoever came up with this idea, this Afterpay stuff.
Now, here's the crazy part. You can now, I don't know if it's at every type of, restaurant, whatever, but you can use Afterpay when it comes to your food. When you order food and they're saying, oh, your total is $26, whatever, for your sandwich. If you can't purchase it right there, you can Afterpay it and pay it in time.
Why am I going to pay?
In time for the food you're eating.
But pay next
right now.
week for a sandwich I ate last week. Why would I don't need the sandwich. I'm gonna eat it home. Why would I pay next week for a sandwich at Subway I had last week?
Some people are using it for food too. I don't do that. I use my Afterpay for my hair, for my shoes, clothing and stuff. But that's it. No. Who's a freak? Who's a freak?
I says I was shy when people first started watching me. Then huh?
She said she was shy when people first started watching her, and then she started showing out, giving
So
something to look at.
You are officially an exhibitionist? Is this what we talking about? Is that what you saying?
Where we at?
So I see. I'm gonna wait on your comment. We're gonna.
Dan Trail said not 50 Shades of Majors.
I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth. But yeah, Birdie. Birdie says Afterpay down to the restaurant now that's crazy. It is crazy that we allow an Afterpay at restaurants, but the company Klarna is in debt, $136 million. What did you expect? What did you truly expect?
I think your place, the place that you and JoJo go to, what's it called? Asian cuisine place y'all go to? Because you remember you talked about fried rice one day or whatever. Anyways, they do it. And it threw me off because the meal was like, I was going to DoorDash it. It was like $15 and they said,
you're talking about
you can't think of us.
It's
JoJo's favorite place, and I can't think of it. There we go.
Deg Thai.
They do it. You can Afterpay your food with them.
Dig Thai.
Deg Thai. Well, but it's a little pricey because what we get for two of us is like $65.
Yeah. So there you go.
But still,
so that's why they have to pay it.
If I can't pay for my fried rice that I'm eating today, I'm not gonna get fried rice. I'm gonna eat a sandwich at the house because I'm not gonna be paying for my fried rice next week that I ate last week.
Door, I would do it for something like that. Groceries. She said
groceries make
groceries.
Groceries are different. That's a bigger bill, and that's not something you're consuming right then and there. But again, these Afterpay things, they're going to get out of hand. It's going to get out of hand. I guarantee that's not the only company that's having that same issue because look at credit card debt in the country. So it's basically the same thing.
But don't forget that if you don't pay your payment off, if you don't do it, then you actually are in trouble. They will freeze your account or even just stop you from being able to use their service. So it's not like you're not going to get hurt by not paying your debt. You are going to get hurt. They are going to find out about you. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
They might freeze a account. That don't mean it's specifically mine anymore.
Wow. And speaking of losing money, did y'all hear about Target? First quarter results for 2025. Target lost $680 million in the first quarter.
It was because that protest.
From black people not shopping.
Because a lot of black people, a lot of minorities are not shopping at Target. Me and JoJo have not been back to Target. We've not. I think it was probably sometime last year. We've not been to Target, not ordered anything from Target. But the first quarter of this year, they've lost $680 million. and they're expecting that to continue through 2025.
I've never been a Target shopper myself. I've always been loyal to Wally World.
I've never been a Target shopper myself, but the question is for Sean, what happens to the black businesses, black owners that have their products at Target and, they're not, getting off the shelf anymore?
Most of them took theirs out with the DI.
So you just take a product out versus, cause I'm like, isn't that hurting them too?
I mean, yeah, because Target was a huge retailer that a lot of people made money from. And so now, especially if you have your products in Target and you have it in Walmart, now you have to take it out of another, because Target and Walmart compete.
Yeah.
And now you have to take it out of this big retail chain because their lack of DEI and their lack of diversity. And so you take it out. So now you've lost a huge retailer, and they've got hundreds of stores. So then you're losing that. So yeah, it's a hurt. It's not a win for anybody. It really isn't. It's not a win for the consumer, and it's not a win. It's just still definitely not a win for the retailer at all, because of these removing all these DEI initiatives. I was very upset with Verizon. I've been a Verizon customer since 1999, and they're buying another communications company, but the federal government would not let them make the purchase until they removed all their DEI initiatives. And so Verizon removed all of their DEI initiatives. And that was a that company, I worked for that company for a long time, and that company was very, very strong about inclusion and diversity. I mean, they had a lot of not just regular trainings that you do on a computer. We had initiatives and things where, black employees or minority employees got together. They did a lot of stuff for the minority employees that worked for them, and also did a lot of things for minority groups in their communities that they were serving. And now they're not going to do that just because they wanted to purchase another communications company for like $20 billion, and they're removing their DEI. So I was very, very, very sad that Verizon decided to go that direction, and it's going to hurt them too.
So do you feel like it was a front? Do y'all feel like businesses out there that are now taking away their DEI initiatives, do you feel like they never supported in the beginning? It was all just to fill the dotted line and just do what they were supposed to do. In reality, they never give a damn in the first place.
I think it could be. I think it definitely could be that. I don't think it's that's true statement for everybody. I think, but at the end of the day, people are trying to make. These retailers are making business decisions, and they feel like if they want to do certain things that they feel like is going to better their business, and this is going to be the cost to that, then they're looking at it and they're weighing it. It's like, all right, so we can make this kind of money if we remove a program that at the end of the day is costing us money to have. We're cutting costs and we're gaining something else. So they're still going to grow as a business. It's just the ethical piece of it is at jeopardy. So I can see both sides. I can understand it from a business standpoint of me trying to grow my business, and this is going to help me in the long run. And if I look at these programs that they're asking me to get rid of, I don't have any financial gain with those. It's a lot of ethical gain that I get, and being inclusive. But from the bottom line, I lose money having all these because all these programs cost. So I don't know. It's a really, really tough thing. Don said DEI did not cause black companies to remove their products. Their products are still there. The gate most have contracts with Target. Those black companies are being hurt with this for sure. I mean, I have heard there are some black companies that did decide to remove them because they didn't feel like there was fair treatment. I'm not going to say that all of the black products are off of the shelves at Target, but a lot did move. Some people did make that decision, and I think you had that choice to say, I don't want to be a part of this company. I don't want you to house my products because you're not inclusive. And then also you got to take in consideration there are a lot of black companies that are a part of Walmart, a part of Target, that dealt with prejudice and racism acts from these companies. Yeah, they're taking their products on, but are they really getting the fair amount that they should be getting compared to a white-owned product? So it is a lot to some of those situations. And it's just sad. It's definitely sad that a lot of these companies are taking that route, because when President Trump gets out of office, you've lost billions of dollars, and it's going to be hard. And it's going to be hard for you to regain that trust and regain that money back when he leaves, because trust and believe, when he's gone, a lot of this stuff will go away.
It will. Real quick, as we just want to resend to the room real quick. Kenny is not here right now. He is on vacay, so it's Sissy. So you got us until, I think, like the 27th, because Sissy comes back. So Kenny Smoov, he is out on vacay. Sissy is too. You're with the three amigos. Hope you're having a great time on the podcast of the Kenny Smoov Morning Show.
All right. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. We definitely appreciate that. If you have not done that, please go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. And like this video, that way it pops up and you see more of our podcast every single day. One other quick story. I know that we talked about one of the Kardashians. We didn't talk about Kourtney.
So Kourtney, she has a podcast, and she was talking about school. She was talking about kids going to school and how she does not believe kids need to go to school anymore. She says, what's the point? She thinks it's outdated, and she thinks that homeschooling might be where it's at. She's not sure yet. She's leaning towards that with her kids, but she doesn't believe kids should go to school. It's too traditional. It's outdated. And yeah, how are y'all taking advice from a girl who has a net worth of $65 million? I don't know. Now listen, there's nothing wrong with homeschooling at all. There's nothing wrong.
No.
But Sean brought a great point talking about the social skills someone gets from going to school, from either public or private. They get that, hey, this is a new person, a whole new culture, a whole new everything. Let me learn. And that's what's being missed. So
yeah, and we have a former teacher in our chat, Don, who was a former teacher for several years. And I feel like that you would agree with that social skills are so important. And that's one of the biggest things that I believe that having kids in public school or private school is so important to their development is social skills. When you're taking kids out of schools and you're homeschooling, especially if you have one kid, it may be a little different if you've got multiple kids, but if you just got one child and they're not in that social setting, to me, it's not really setting them up for success.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be a lot more diligent about putting them in activities where they can engage with other people. I'm not saying that's not possible, but it makes it a lot easier when every day they are going into a public school or a private school, because those social settings, they're going to engage and encounter several different situations that's going to help them develop as an adult, as a young adult and on into adulthood. And I just don't think it's right. And when it comes to Kourtney, like, you got nearly $100 million net worth. You have the ability, unlike most people, to be able to provide the best education for your child.
Right.
Put them in some of the best schools and with some of the best teachers, and still be able to provide them that social interaction that's so important. So to me, I think it's just, not saying that she is going to do it. I would hope that she would just kind of look at that in a different manner, because you have the means that most people don't to be able to make sure that your kids get the best education.
Yeah.
Now, you can still do that at home too, but you got to remember this, especially somebody of her standard, her kids are already living in a bubble.
Right.
They're already living in a bubble.
Yeah.
They can't go do what normal kids can go do for the most part. They have to stay in Calabasas.
Right.
Because that's a community of a bunch of wealthy, rich celebrities. So they have to stay within the confines of who they are. They don't have the luxury of being able to really experience life outside of that bubble. So now you want to make that bubble even smaller by homeschooling them. So
yeah.
I just would hope that she would kind of think a little different than that. Don said, I agree, actually. Traditional school is trashed. Kids can still get the social skills through a co-op school or homeschooling pods. But still.
What's a homeschooling pod?
Yeah,
I've never heard of
you
that.
can explain that. So there's options there. There's homeschooling pods. But again, I think one of the things that we get into, again, there's going to be finances to that. A lot of people look at homeschool traditionally as just them being at home and being taught by that parent or a one-on-one situation. I would just hope that there's opportunities. You have to be more diligent to make sure your kid is in social activities to get those social skills when you decide to remove your kid out of it. That's the only downfall that I see to homeschooling. I'm not opposed to it. I do think that we have some challenges in our public schools, but I just would fear them learning how to really interact with people by being homeschooled.
Manjo, we're separating the conversation. There's a conversation of homeschooling versus traditional school, and there's another conversation of Kourtney Kardashian and being rich and being able to afford whatever she wants to afford. I definitely understand that people want to homeschool their kids more often, especially after all the school shootings and the COVID, all of that. It's just so much going on. People want their kids to be home. I respect that. Just make sure your kid is learning. Like, please make sure your kid is
Yeah.
learning, because these kids nowadays, I don't know what the thought process is, but they are a lot more bold, and they say the craziest things where it makes you believe what Crystal says. Their favorite color is eggs. And it's like, what the fuck?
This is
so
true.
just be
This is true.
mindful
Right.
of your babies.
And it makes me wonder, especially when it comes to these kids in co-ops. So, and it's something that's a new thing to me. Is you're talking about a bunch of kids basically on a screen. So they may be all being learning together, but they're on screen. And and I always
learning through Zoom? What you mean?
basically like it to me. I think that's what that is. I mean, because if they're all coming together in one place, is that really still considered homeschooling? So I don't know if that pods are actually really what school used to be in the early days. Small group of different age ranges. They maybe meet at a library and it's more world. Now that I can be okay with. It's because we're in an age of virtual learning and so I know that there's versions of that again, but to understand that if you're taking that step to meeting kids and putting them in a library in a smaller setting, it's still understanding that the fact that social skills are so important, and that's why that was developed, because homeschooling for a long time was really just you at home.
And that's the structure I have in my mind.
Most people do.
Yeah, I don't realize. Like, I saw Deborah's message. I didn't realize there's a structure to it. There's a whole way to do it versus just your kids out of school and now they're
Deborah says she used to homeschool.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay, all right, Deborah.
Are you homeschooled your kids?
Yeah. Am I reading it right?
Yeah, she said I'm homeschooling mine, and it was great. Homeschooling has sports and other classes that help with the social skills, and that's important.
I didn't know it had all that. Yeah. I thought it was just simply your kid ain't going to school and they got the house watching, Scooby Doo. But now I realize, there's actual things that's for it. There's a whole situation for it. There's a lot of comments.
Yeah, there's a lot of comments. So it's definitely a topic that a lot of people have something to say about it. And again, I just know from, thinking about my school experience. I went to public school. There's so much that kids learn when you're interacting with different personalities face to face, not just through a screen.
I think
y'all put me on games
every day. There's so much that a kid can learn about how to interact and how to handle different situations when you're put in front of it face to face. And sometimes they react in the right way. Sometimes they react in the wrong way, but that's all a part of growth as a kid, and they need that.
I think that rich kids, when they homeschool, that's what make them more stuck up and entitled when they come out, because they don't know nothing else but school and getting their way.
Right.
As long as you do this, you'll get this. If you act like this, you'll get this. And then when they go out in the world and can't get what they want, and end up getting their ass whooped, it's crazy. Because a lot of rich kids have to pay their bullies to leave them alone and stuff like that. Because
they do.
They don't know how to function or fight back or.
Deborah Hood said, Tennessee Homeschool Association is a great place to look for more information. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. It's definitely something that most people need to be more educated, including myself, to be more educated about all the different options, because for the most part, people look at homeschooling as just your children at home in some small room, and that's what they're learning. And so, or the virtual piece of it. And so knowing that there are still kids that come together at a library and different, so that's different. That's something I did not know that was a very common thing.
Dawn.
I wish I could do it, but I holler too much.
If Johnny has 5 apples.
You know what? And Dawn, I really see that. I really see that. I really see that your patience is tested if your kid is 2 + 2 is eggs. I really think that your patience get tested. I do, but I do believe that you are also an amazing teacher too, because you're very thorough and you're very animated and you love people. So I do believe that you're a great teacher. But I bet you got your patience tested on a regular basis.
Especially because they thought she was one of them because she was so little.
Jesus.
Like, you ain't no teacher. You a student.
Who's teaching today?
I am. Oh, my gosh.
Like, who said that? And look down at Dawn ass. Every kid, big tall ass kids, we look around talking about, who said that? Down here. I'm your teacher.
So like Birdie's thinking about putting her kid in homeschool. Hey, it seems to be a growing thing because our Department of Education continue to keep cutting and cutting and cutting, and so we're not really going to have schools. And ultimately, I think that's what this president wants. He doesn't want us to want our kids in school. He wants he wants to limit the options for kids so they cannot be smart like him, basically.
Yeah.
Because
he wants them to be his type of remedial.
Yeah, he does. He wants them to be his type of remedial for sure.
Because that man said it's a stage 9 cancer. I don't know what I don't know
what stage 9 is. What is stage 9?
You know. That must be the cancer after the cancer. That must be the extra cancer when I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like that's the embalming stage, maybe. Because stage 9, I mean, I feel like that's it.
He told a reporter that your publication is basically BS. Excuse me. It's basically BS because he never heard of it before. So because you never heard of this publication, you think it's lies? Like, no, we're here. Reporters are here to ask you these questions. They want to know more about your viewpoints on certain things, and you're just giving nothing but nonsense. You don't have a point to ever make. It's just.
Oh, he did that. He did that here recently, especially when he had the president of South Africa.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that was crazy.
Because he is all about white genocide in South Africa. He has said it is happening. White people are being killed, and they're being deprived, and everybody is like, "Where are you seeing that, bro?"
Wait, what?
Yes, the president is all about white genocide,
people are dying.
And he let some white South Africans into the country. Because they're being persecuted, they're being killed, and we're like, where are you seeing this? And even the president of South Africa was like, it is not happening at all. And
that fool says
everything. Stage 9 means everything has fallen off the bone.
Falling.
Jesus.
Your skin is falling. Your hair is falling. Just everything is just melting off of your body.
Just completely.
You're just dying at this point. You're just past dead.
Yeah. You
God
way past
is at your door and just saying, I'm waiting on you.
I'm
waiting on you.
You've already in the goal. You've already gone through the golden gates. You're in the mansion. You've been living in the mansion at this point.
When I say it's your time, it's your time.
It's your time. But yeah, he's all about white genocide. His whole administration is all saying that white South Africans are being persecuted, they're being murdered. He even pulled up, when the president of South Africa was in the office, they pulled up some video that happened years ago that has totally been debunked about white genocide. He has no real proof. But he's literally letting white South Africans into the country because of white genocide in South Africa. It's like, what are you coming up with this? And reporters are going hard at him, and he has no comeback.
And Elon done backed up off of him.
So, Elon was there, but Elon was there to talk to the South African president about something he can make some money. He didn't care because Elon's never said anything about that. And he's a white South African.
So really, he just trailing behind Trump, letting Trump look dumb while he collect money.
While he figures out how to get,
more money.
Of course. Because Elon's not stupid. He's going to figure out how he can get his money. That's why he created this Doge department, and he figured out how he can get some money out of it. But yeah, it's insane. It's insane about everything that he does. I was just dumbfounded by the fact that you truly are letting white South Africans in this country because you're saying they're being murdered. Right? You're saying they're being murdered in their own country.
So let's save them. However, let's deport people that are going through, that probably came from genocide in their countries, probably came from all kinds of different situations for freedom here to America. Let's go ahead and put them back over there.
Yeah.
But the South Africans, we got to save them. The white ones, let's save them. It don't make sense.
Number of statistics talking about Hispanics leaving Mexico because of gang violence and lives being threatened. So they leave there to have a life, and they come here. But now you want to send them back. But the white South Africans, so there's no living proof that they're under genocide. They can come over here.
America
is what it truly is.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, but that's it, guys. We wanted to come to you, hit you with some hot topics about what's on our mind today, and also what we talked about on the radio. So again, make sure that you like and subscribe to our page. We truly appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow.
And then don't forget, Friday at Links. We got that going on. And then, of course, this is going to be happening for a minute. I think Sissy's out until the 27th.
Sissy comes back on the 28th.
28th. So Sissy be back on the 28th. Till then, you got the Three Amigos. And then Kenny comes back on the
June 2nd. He comes back on June 2nd.
Yep.
So you got Three Amigos of them, but other than that, guys, we appreciate you guys joining us.
Okay, then, bye. Forget your birthday if you had one.
Oh yeah, we didn't do birthdays.
We'll get it tomorrow.
We'll do it tomorrow.
It'll be on there.
We'll
do it tomorrow.
Yeah,
God bless you.
And my readers ready and everything.
Crystal didn't